banking industry, Senator Daniel Solomon, the chairman, committee chairman in charge of capital markets, the upper legislative house. Sarson who is an investor and shareholders activist, and Femi Awoyemi, the CEO and head of analysts at ProShare Nigeria. Thank you, gentlemen, for sticking around. Where we left off was the ANC. But the ANC has been created not just because the stock market was down on its knees, but because of the banking sector. So, will the ANC, Femi Awoyemi, let's get on with you, bring about a new banking order or a new banking disorder?
I will give my answer in a very straight manner. If you look into this report, part of the recommendations was that assets should be taken over. That was as far back as February. That was a unique idea because as far back as 2008, so many other distinguished people has also made the same suggestion in there. Now it's taken us almost 9 months to get to that point where we begin to consider it. I worry. This country hasn't got a history of principle-centered leadership. It hasn't got a history of principled execution of plans. So if you ask the question, is there a fear there? There is. Look, this is a country where people tell you, don't worry about your deposits in bank, and if the bank goes broke, nobody looks after you. Because of that, I do not yet understand the specific workings of this ANC, and I'm unable to comment on what I do not know about. But in principle, however, what we expect to see is that an ANC that buys up the debt. But my question is, when you are now making the full provision on all these debts, how then does it work? Because the whole idea of buying the debts was to sell the debts of the books. Now when you've done a full provision for it, and you've taken the negative hit, which other debt are you selling now? Now which debt are you selling now?
Very quickly, the Harvard Business Review, of July to August 2009, here with me, page 139, is the country assessments. And this is what Harvard Business Review says about Nigeria. It says, the economy will recover at a smarter pace, although insufficient investment will reduce the country's oil revenues. The last sentence, fewer but larger banks will be left standing.
That is a matter of exceeding brilliance. The landlord himself in the FT in June said that he wants to see 15 banks. He has reiterated, and so whatever they say there is just a lot of baloney. Well, look here, we know this country, we're in this country, we understand that country very well. This country will recover because the people are very resilient, we've always said that. But what we're saying is that we could become better and not be playing behind the scale. Look, in the last 1 or 2 years, this country has always played catch-up. We've never been a catch-up country. We've been the ones, we've been the darling of the market, and we can get there, but we get there on a certain, but certain things are going wrong. This country is defined now by the banking industry. What kind of a country is that?
Senator Solomon, will we have the new banking order or a new banking disorder with what Lamido is done and is doing?
Well, I want to say that we may have a new banking order.
Correct.
Yeah, because like Femi said, it may be that he came in and he did it in such a way that some other people might not have done it. Maybe they would have preferred doing it slowly. But he came in and felt that we should do a general planning so that whatever comes out of it then will be managed, so that at the end of the day we have orderliness. I think what we will have is a good banking order at the end of the day.
Senator Solomon, thank you, but let's move on very quickly. So do you have any sympathy for any sacked bank executives, their bank or workers who's just been laid off before Christmas?
Yeah, the fact of the point is that
do you have any sympathy?
I have, in the sense that I want to take you into history. Recently, the lecturers sacked from University of Ibadan were all reinstated by the Supreme Court. The only reason why they succeeded was that the sacking did not follow a due process. That was the only reason. We are not against reforms, but these reforms must come through a due process, however hurry you may be. The mistake started when FT published the first briefing of the governor, where he said he would prepare 15 banks. Now, in preparing 15 banks, there are so many ways to it. You can call these banks and say you want them to realign and have 15 banks with quietness. Then, using the force, we are not in military regime, breaking up everything. And today the economy is in comatose. Now, sacking people if those people who were there before had been called, you did this, you did that, but please, you have to discipline them.
Hasn't the sympathy goalpost shifted from those bank executives to the workers? Thousands of workers.
That's exactly what I am saying now. Thousands of workers.
So who is your sympathy? The workers or the bank?
No, the workers enjoys my sympathy. The process itself that never followed the proper channel enjoys my sympathy because it's not only affecting government. Don't forget that all these banks put together develop the economy more than government themselves. Correct. So therefore, whatever we intend to do must follow a process. You give them, this is the goalpost. Once they cannot meet, shoot a ball to enter the den. Whatever you do to them, nobody will say anything about it.
Let's allow Senator Solomon to say something about it.
Well, you see, this is an issue of whether the chief executives were right in the decisions they made, or they were right in the activities of the bank. I mean, they got wrong. I mean, in fairness to them, there is serious issues. Corporate governance, manipulation. You cannot sweep those under the carpet. The point is this: were they really culpable in such activities, or it just made up something so that they look bad?
Yes.
So that is the real issue. But so far, I want to believe that with, figures and facts that have been rolled out over the months, I want to believe that some of them really did were not really fair, not only to their workers, but to the investing public and depositors as well. Because we are made to know that some of them turned the bank practically to their own private assets.
So you were in the upper legislative house in the final days of 2007.
Yes.
The former Central Bank Governor, Professor Xmas-Part, was drilled over a couple of times by the legislature over the state of the banking industry, Nigeria's exposure to the global markets and economic crisis, and against the country of Xmas.
That's right.
In fact, he says that the banking sector will withstand any tsunami.
That's right. Yes.
Looking back right now,
I think it was wrong. I mean, what he told us, to put it, was wrong, was false. Because if he lied, putting it that way, yes, he did. Because he was the regulator, he was the chief regulator of the banking industry then. And if a new man came on board and discovered all his activity, spanning his own period of time, his own tenure, then something he fails to tell us the actual truth. That is what it means. Because
so do you have any reason to believe Lamido this time if he says things were wrong this way? Perhaps in about 4 or 5 years we'll find out that Lamido too has told some half truths or half false. Because you can't trust central bank governors in Nigeria anymore.
Yeah, yes, you made it right. But the point is this: in this particular aspect, he's telling them that they should make discovery. What's it called now?
Full provision for the bad loan.
Exactly. Full provision.
Full disclosure of transparency.
What he's saying actually is nothing new. It's something that is expected of any banking industry or any bank.
So looking at bankers and everybody in the House of Chambers, eloquent words, throwing words and expressions, and everybody clapped for him on national television, and he went away as a hero on the first week of June. And right now, we're in a very deep mess. Let me see.
I think.
Let's get
just a minute, sir. I think it's the same thing happening now. I was surprised when the Senate said they are giving approval to Lamido's actions without knowing properly what is happening.
Perhaps the printing of the 20 billion.
Yes. But let me tell you, everywhere in the world, economies are being managed. You don't open up the backside of your economy to the whole world because you want to attract people to help to build the economy. Everywhere in the world. And the fact remains that all that the senator is saying that convinces him, it has always been one-sided story by Lamido. So, if the Senate studied the situation very well, they will understand that as soon as he came and read out figures, there was reputation of figures by most of the people that were accused of paying